Now, keywords. This is where we actually chuck in the keywords you want to target for this particular group. Now, hopefully, as Dave mentioned before, you've done all this keyword research stuff, which we'll talk about a bit more, and I won't go too much into that now, but you can basically work out what keywords you want to target for this group. So let's just, for an example, call it physiotherapy Hampton, physiotherapy, am I spelling this right? St Kilda, on and on and on for this particular group, because it's going to target the actual area. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can actually put your keywords in the group. There's 3 ways. There's just what's called broad, which is physiotherapy Hampton. And what this actually means is you're telling Google, I'm willing to bid on any terms that you think are relevant to physiotherapy Hampton. Not that phrase exactly. So Google will actually say, well, they think physiotherapy and chiropractic are the same. So someone Googles chiropractic services in Hampton, your ad might actually show up, even though you're not that specific. So I always say avoid broad. And all broad means is putting the term in just like this. What you want to do is put talking marks around it. It's what's referred to as phrase match. And what you're saying to Google here is, I want my ad to show up anytime physiotherapy Hampton is in the search phrase in that order. So if someone searches the best physiotherapy Hampton, my ad will show up because it's got physiotherapy Hampton in that order. Or physiotherapy Hampton and then a street name, maybe. It'll show up. If I put square brackets around it though, physiotherapy Hampton with a square bracket like that, what it's basically saying to Google is, I only want to bid when people search that exact phrase in that exact way. Physiotherapy Hampton in those unique words, nothing else, no other variants around it. So if someone searched the best physiotherapy in Hampton and I only bid on that word, my ad would not show because it doesn't have the best in it. So you always want to remove any use of the phrase match, otherwise you're going to get so many impressions that are irrelevant. Yes, Michelle?
How would you write it in if you wanted physio and physiotherapy? Is there a way that you can write physio in with a star or a wildcard?
No, I would do this. I would go physio Hampton as a separate phrase. You want to try and be as targeted as you can. So each phrase. No. So if we go physio Hampton. Does this make sense so far?
Yep.
So I won't sort of dump in all the keywords I do in this particular group. And technically, if I had the time, I probably actually would create different groups for Hampton versus St Kilda. So actually target the ad a bit more specifically as well. But just for this example, we'll just go to there. We can click estimated search traffic, which is not a great level result. It's saying here there's not enough searches in that particular 5-kilometre radius for those terms to give you some rough data. But again, it doesn't really matter because if you only get 5 searches a day and you rank number 1 in AdWords and you get 4 clicks, you've got a success. It's not about the most. Yeah, Craig?
Do you have to actually put them in like talking marks or in brackets, or
yes.
can you just, you do?
If you leave, because if you leave it without the brackets, if I put in the physio Hampton, that's what Google class as broad match. So they actually class them as 3 different types of completely different keywords. So broad match will show up for Chiro Hampton. Because Google thinks that, because broad is basically saying, I'm being lazy, Google, you do the work for me. And Google's aim is to make money, so they're going to show anything they think is relevant. Whereas if you put the speaking marks around it, it actually says this is the phrase, and then so it'll show up for anything with the long tail either side of that, and then the square brackets is exact. So you've got to put them in separately.
Okay.
So if you leave it just broad like that, you're going to get that much impressions of irrelevant traffic. So don't do that at all. The only time I ever do that, just to give you a bit of a disclaimer, is if I'm starting a campaign for the very first time, I might for 2 or 3 days put in broad match, just to see what Google thinks my site's about, what is relevant, see what other keywords are possible. Because with your analytics data, which you'll see in the video that I'll send you guys later, you actually can track what keywords are being searched. So you can say, I'm going to bid on broad here, but then coming through analytics data, it might show you that you're actually getting traffic for Chiro Hampton. And you can decide, well, do I want that traffic or not? You can then turn it off or start bidding on it because it's going to be cheaper as well.